If you find a breakfast stall open at midnight, avoid it, especially if it's eerily quiet. In such situations, avoid unnecessary chatter to prevent any potential trouble.
评论区评论古老道或艾特朋友即可护体哦。
This happened back in 2015 when I was operating an excavator at my uncle's construction site. The demolition area had been... The project approval took forever, and by the time we got the go-ahead, we hadn't even set up the work site. I had to sleep on the excavator at night to prevent theft of oil and tools. It wasn't ideal, but necessary. There are several big tents where some colleagues went in, but I can't stand the cold, musty smell inside. It was almost July because it was hot. I had some late-night beers and was woken up at dawn by my neighbor. It was really dark that night. I couldn't even see the moon, so I grabbed a flashlight, went to the roadside to pee, and on my way back, I saw ahead. Relocation. At a corner, there was a small light. Curious, I went closer and saw it was a breakfast spot. The elderly couple is busy making wontons and fried dough sticks. Around 7 or 8 people are sitting at 2 small tables. I didn't notice my son eating breakfast at first, but seeing them enjoy it made my stomach growl too. So I grabbed a small stool, sat down, and shouted for some food. The atmosphere felt a bit strange, with the old couple and those 7 or 8 guests all looking stunned. I was so confused at the time, but I didn't mind much and just lit a cigarette. Wait. After waiting about 10 minutes, the lady boss quietly placed the buns and tofu pudding beside me. She left without saying a word, making me think she was mute. The atmosphere shifted when the boss didn't respond after someone shouted. Everyone turned to look. Maybe it's too sunny today. Display. The stall's lights out. I can't see their faces clearly. I felt awkward. Do they think I'm too much? Or another reason? But now I realize too. Not just vendors. Even the diners seemed completely silent. It's quiet. This bunch might not arrive. Don't want to argue. I'll pay up. So stingy? So I just started eating, still feeling last night's drinks. This bun and tofu lack flavor. I was starving. Almost finished it. Right now, my stomach hurts suddenly. It's like eating undercooked food. Usual pain. I blacked out. I fell and screamed for help. My shout was unnecessary. They surrounded me already. That's when I finally saw their faces. No, that's not right. They're not human. Their faces looked deathly pale. Can't see pupils. Skin clings tightly to the bones. Nothing else left. Suddenly, a crowd gathered around me, and I was so shocked I couldn't even breathe. These shadows got closer to my face, like they wanted to tear me apart for breakfast. I wanted to call for help, but my voice was gone, and I felt dizzy. I quickly collapsed to the ground and lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I heard many people around me. When someone called my name, I got up and saw a bunch of shadows, which scared me again. It took me a while to realize these people were my coworkers. I didn't know how to explain things to them. I was explaining everything to them, but an older coworker interrupted me before I finished. Kid, have you been drinking too much? There's no one living here, so where would breakfast come from? I thought the same. No one lives here. It's so far from town. Who'd come here for breakfast? Feeling nauseous again, I just couldn't hold it in anymore. I just can't stop talking. All I spat out was just a bunch of mud. Digging for bugs. A foul smell spread. I almost couldn't hold it and nearly threw up. Finally, they called an ambulance to the hospital. I was in the hospital for over a week. Besides stomach pumping, I suddenly got a high fever, even though the doctor treated me daily. Fever won't go down. Later, Uncle Wang found an expert who asked about my situation in detail.